man. He's on the bus and he's snorting coke. Welcome to my channel. My name is Yanika and I've been wanting to create a YouTube channel for quite some time, so I thought what better way to get started than by talking about my 3-month Los Angeles experience. So to get started, let me start back to last year when I made the decision to move to LA. I was working my 9 to 5 and I started realizing that I wanted to follow my childhood dreams. I didn't want 15 years from now to look back and regret anything about not at least trying. And I've always been a person of living a life of no regrets. I've always been a live your life to the fullest type of person. So I felt like I should be that way as well towards my dreams. So made the decision to move to LA, and I was actually going to move right now at the end of December. But let me go back to July of this year when I quit my job. So this year in July I was working my 9 to 5, a different 9 to 5. And I was working for a non-profit in accounting. That's my background. And that place was just a little too crazy for me. I don't feel like they knew what it was that they were doing. They weren't trying to grow as a non-profit. I don't really know what they were doing. And then when they fired my supervisor at the worst possible time, they fired him just as the audit was about to start. So now they're about to bring in a new person that knows nothing. I was just like, these people have lost their mind. I don't need to be here anymore. I did request a pay raise because I really was trying to stick it out to December, but the place was just too crazy. And then they said they couldn't give me a pay raise at that time. I was like, cool, deuces, I'm out. I walked out. Well, let me not say I walked out. I didn't walk out, but I just let them know that I didn't want to work there anymore. And they had the audacity to say that, oh, you're supposed to give a 2 weeks notice or whatever. But I actually gave them a 3-day notice. And then when they fired my supervisor, they did not give him a notice. So, it's crazy when jobs be trying to get you to give notice, but then they don't give you notice if they fire you. I wasn't going to stick around for them to fire me too. I don't know what they were doing, so I just did. You know what I mean? Then told my mom. She already knew I was planning to move my move date up. So she wasn't she was just like, okay, cool. My family decided to throw me a little going away party where I was able to get an extra $500. And for reference, I had a little over $5,000 saved up. So with my family's $500, I had about $6,000 to make the move. I had already booked my plane tickets and my Airbnb. Yes, you guys, I stayed in an Airbnb my first 3 months in LA, and if you're planning to move to LA or any city, I think Airbnb is a good option. I stayed there 3 months, and I booked it from month to month, and I never had any major issues. The only issue was the neighborhood wasn't the best neighborhood, but it wasn't the hood. My coworker called it the middle class hood. I've never heard of something being called the middle class hood, but me living there for 3 months, I totally understood what my coworker meant. It's not an area where I would walk at night, but it's not an area where I ever really felt unsafe per se, but I wouldn't walk there at night. So booked my plane tickets, was on my way to LA, right? And on the plane, I was freaking out. Now, I've never had an anxiety attack before, and to be honest, I wasn't fully sure how anxiety attacks worked until that day. I had my first and only anxiety attack. I was on the plane, I was like, I was like for the entire like 6 hour flight to LA, and then the lady next to me, she was like, sweetheart, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. But I promise you guys, I was not okay. I was freaking out. I have no idea what was going on, but I know when I got off the plane, I was just fine. I got off and I was back to my normal self. So if any of you psychologist people out there know what my episode was, please drop it in the comments, because to this day I have no idea what happened to me on that plane ride, because I take the plane all the time, so I'm not scared of flights. When I was making the plan to come here, I was not nervous, so I didn't really understand why I was freaking out. Anyways, got to my Airbnb. And some people come out here and they be trying to live that little Hollywood life, but they don't got Hollywood money, trying to be out here in these Hollywood streets. Me, no. I come out here, I did not have a job, first of all. I did not have an apartment. I was in an Airbnb. I did not have a car when I came out here as well. I just had me and my 2 suitcases. So the first thing I did when I got to that Airbnb, as soon as I got that Wi-Fi password, I was on there looking for jobs. And let me tell you, finding jobs here is not hard. I did not have a hard time finding a job. The 3 months I've been here, I've had 3 jobs, okay? So it's really not hard finding jobs. When I got to the Airbnb, I started to apply for jobs. 2 days later, I got here the Wednesday, so on the Friday, I had a job interview for a part-time job at a restaurant. I got there, did not like the place, but still interviewed, because I was like, okay, I'm already here, why not? So the guy, as he was interviewing me, he really liked me, but he wanted me to be there by 4. I already knew I wasn't taking the job, and even if I could be there by 4, I was not trying to get this job. So I told him, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to be there by 4. He was like, are you sure you can't make it by 4? I was like, no, sir, I can't make it by 4. Then he was just like, okay, I guess we shouldn't waste each other's time then. I was like, okay, deuces. Okay, so then my next job interview now was the following Monday. This is less than a week in LA. This was for a part-time job again. And I ended up getting this job, and it was a taco shop downtown. And I quit after a month because it just wasn't for me. And then the place was just too much labor. And then I didn't like that the homeless people would come in the store. It just didn't feel like the place that I need to be working. So end up leaving that job. But it was good for the time being. For my first month here, it was nice to have some type of income. Following that job, after I got that job, a week later, I got another part-time job, and I still have that job to this date. I've only worked 5 shifts with them, but it's like a staffing / catering type company, and they staff all types of events all over LA. I just recently worked the UFC fight. I worked some film events, and a lot of celebrities were there, like Will Ferrell, like Kim Kardashian, Karuchi, right? Karuchi, a couple other celebrities were there, but honestly, I don't know their names. Anyways, that was another job I got. So the full-time job that I got is in accounting, and I got that through an agency. So throughout my first month here, I was interviewing and talking to a lot of jobs via FaceTime first, and some of them, they would let me know what the pay was, and then I let them know, that doesn't work for me. So I didn't bother wasting my time going out to those interviews. But I did have another interview where my first week here, actually, through that taco shop job, the lady, her husband, was looking for an accountant, and I actually got the job with them for a full-time offer. That was my first week here. I ended up turning down that offer because they were only paying like $22 per hour, but I didn't even want an hourly full-time job. I wanted something salaried, and then on top of that, I didn't want to make $22 per hour. So I will say, for the people who thought like it might have been stupid to quit your job and move to a new city and stuff like that, let me just say my salary has increased by like $25,000. So that's the best decision I've made of 2018. Okay, like I jumped a whole tax bracket. While I'm not happy for the taxes, I won't be getting no money from taxes, but I'm just happy to have, made that leap and increase my salary. Like, I'm trying to get to 6 figures, and this is just bringing me closer and closer. Now, as far as apartments out here, let me comb my hair real quick. So, let's talk apartments in LA. Since I've been here, I've applied to about 3 apartments. I got approved for the first one, which was a $1,400 studio. It was in Koreatown. I ended up turning it down after they approved me because I didn't confirm on a full-time offer yet. Then as far as the other places I applied to one with a roommate that she found me actually on Facebook. And that one, we didn't get that apartment. And I applied to another one by myself, which was another $1,400 one-bedroom. Didn't get that one as well because of some stuff from college, which was kind of disappointing because I actually liked those places. But I think it was for the best because I would have been paying at least $1,500 a month for bills with those places versus where I am now. This place I found on Craigslist, and it's very normal to find apartments on Craigslist out here. Like, it's a normal thing, or finding roommates on Facebook and stuff like that. Like, that's how people find places out here. So I found this place on Craigslist. It was a 2-2 condo, and the lady that actually owns the condo, and she lives here, she was renting it out. So I came to view the place. I was kind of in a rush, so I didn't really get to fully view the place, but I knew that the room was really big, and then I had my own private bathroom, and this place is only $1,150 per month, and all my utilities are included, including cable and internet, which is awesome. I just pay one flat rate, and then the only other bill I should say that I have is really my personal cell phone bill, but there's actually a landline phone here, so that's pretty cool and a pretty good deal. Now, as far as how I get around out here, I get around via public transit and Uber. I Uber a lot. Okay, I Uber more than I am proud to say, because when I used to live in my Airbnb, which is in the Limerick Park area, it was the middle class hood. So at one point, the characters that I was seeing on the buses, from people snorting coke to people fighting and like ready to pull out guns and stuff, like, to me, the public transit in that area was not worth my life, okay? So I started just Ubering, but the public transit system out here is pretty good. Like, I've never had a hard time getting around via public transit. It goes literally everywhere, but it's not the most reliable thing, so a lot of times I just end up Ubering. Like I said, I probably would have an extra maybe $1,000 in my bank account right now if I didn't Uber as much as I do. But in this area, I don't Uber as much because I love this area that I'm in. I live in the Culver City area and the Fox Hills part, which is near the mall, the Westfield Mall or the old Fox Hills Mall. And it's a really, really nice area. I really like this area. Like, I don't have to deal with the characters on the buses anymore. Those characters, okay? don't have to deal with them anymore. I see a lot of people who are on the bus in this area. They're going to the airport area because a lot of them work in that area. Like myself, I work in El Segundo, and I really enjoy my job. I was so thankful to have found that job. I'm thankful to have left my job in Philly when I did, because I don't think I would have had the opportunity to find this job. And so I'm so thankful for that. My coworkers are really cool. I'm learning a lot. And then on top of that, I get paid weekly. Who doesn't like getting paid weekly, right? Now, as far as the homeless problem out here, it is a lot of homeless people in LA, and I feel like the reason for that is a lot of dreamers come out here and they're trying to live this life that they cannot afford. Like, when you come out here, please try to make sure that you set a foundation before you go spending all your money on stuff that isn't even why you came out here. You know what I mean? So please, because the homelessness out here is crazy. And then the characters out here, crazy. Like, my landlord, she was telling me how this homeless guy pushed somebody in front of a truck. Like, he's mentally ill, so he just pushed somebody in front of the truck. And a lot of them, some of them are mentally ill, but a lot of them are like drugged out, and some of them, they just don't want to work. So it's really sad. Like, I've never seen so many homeless people in my life. Never. Like, I've been to so many different cities, so seeing so many homeless people out here, and then it's crazy because it's a city where there's so many wealthy people, but then there's even more like homeless people. It's really, really sad. One thing LA has taught me though is to be very attentive of my surrounding, because I've even had a situation where I'm sitting down trying to have some pizza downtown, and for you guys who don't know, downtown is where Skid Row is, and that's where a lot of the homeless people are. So I was sitting down having a pizza. This homeless guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, do you have money? Can you give me some cash?" I was just like, "Sorry, I don't carry cash." And to be honest, I do not carry cash. So he goes, "Oh, you got it. You got it. This, that, and the third." Like, he was snapping at me. I had to put my phone down because I was on the phone. And I was ready to go toe-to-toe with this homeless man. So the guy in the store, though, actually came out and ran him off. But I have had to be really, really attentive. Like, even on the buses, there will be dudes on the buses, like, ready to fight, ready to look like they're about to pull something out. And, I've had to deal with that. Also, there was one time I'm in the bus, right? And I'm sitting down, minding my business. So I see everyone like moving away. So I'm just like I'm looking like, why is everybody moving away? Like, I'm not seeing nobody get off the bus. They're just moving up. So I turn around and I look around, and it's this man. He's on the bus and he's snorting coke. He was snorting coke on the bus. I've never even seen anyone snort coke before in my life. Like, I've never seen that before. Like you always see that stuff on TV, but I didn't think like people would be doing that, especially in public like that. Like, it was crazy. Like, I've had to learn to be so attentive of my surroundings since living here, because it's just so many craziness. Now, as far as meeting people, it's really not hard to meet people here because there's so many transplants, And what transplants are the people who keep moving here, you know, they call us transplants. And there's so many of us here, so it's pretty easy to meet people if you want to meet people. Now, for me, I haven't really been trying per se, but I have met some associates, you know, through getting around in LA. I have met some associates who could potentially be good friends. Like I said, my coworkers are really cool. As far as the nightlife, same thing as far as earlier when I said I cannot really go out like partying and stuff like that without knowing that I have a good foundation. So I have not tried going to the clubs or anything like that. But I do plan to go to the club this weekend, and I'm going to go by myself the first time. Next time I'm going to invite people. There are people I could invite to come to the club with me, but the first time I want to experience going to the club by myself. Coming out here has been a journey of, it's more been a journey of, I'd say, getting over some of my fears, and it even starts with this YouTube channel because I am terrified of speaking in front of the camera, but here I am on YouTube speaking in front of the camera. So one of the things too I want to do is go to the club by myself because I just want to see what it's like to go to the club by myself. I always take myself out to eat. I go to the mall. I can even go to amusement parks and stuff like that by myself. Now the club, it's a little weirder to go by yourself. But this weekend, I'm going to go to the club by myself, just to go to the club by myself. And then the next time I plan to go to the club, I'm going to, of course, invite people and see if anyone wants to come along. So I can't say much about the nightlife right now, but I promise you on my 6-month update, I will give you a little short synopsis on the LA nightlife. And by nightlife, I mean clubs/bars. One of the things that happen a lot out here is that I get told that I look like Janet Jackson. Do y'all think that I look like Janet? Do I? I always thought I had a look of Janet Jackson, but I never realized it until I moved out here. Like, I've had about 7 or 8 random people just tell me, hey, you know you look like Janet. Hey, are you related to the Jacksons? I'm like, no, but I wish. No, I don't. I don't wish. I love my family. But, you know, like, it's always nice to get told that I look like her because I think that she's so stunning, and, you know, like, especially they keep telling me I look like young Janet, and she's gorgeous in my opinion, so that's pretty cool. One other thing that happened is that I had to go to the laundromat for the first time in 11 years. Yes, guys, I had to Uber, okay? I had to Uber to the laundromat, right? And that was pretty crazy because I haven't been to the laundromat in 11 years. Like, imagine that. I was trying to figure out how to use the laundry stuff because I didn't know, like, out here they have one that's, like, really big and it's, like, $4.25, and then they have the regular size one that's like $1.75. But I was using the big ones because I didn't know the other ones were there. They have them like hidden, like they purposely want us to use the big one to get our coin, as if they don't charge us for too much already, right? Now, let's talk about the traffic out here. Granted, I don't have a car, but I do Uber a lot, like I said, so I have seen firsthand the traffic here. And I've had somewhere to go once where it was like 6 in the morning and there was traffic. Like, the traffic, it wasn't moving, and I was just looking, I'm like, who has places to go at 6 in the morning on a Sunday, right? This was a Sunday. Apparently, me and the rest of LA is out on a Sunday morning at 6 a.m. But yeah, like, the traffic is horrific. I'm planning to get a car in the next 2 to 3 months out here, and I'm getting a used car. I don't want to finance a car, which is why I haven't gotten a car out here yet. So I'm saving up money to buy one cash. But I'm honestly dreading having to get a car out here because the traffic is so bad. It's just horrific. Like, there's times where I've taken the Uber and then I wish I had taken the bus because I feel like the bus would have gotten me to my destination quicker. But the traffic is just horrific. So what's next for me in these next months coming up? Well, as I said, I'm trying to go out now and meet people. Another thing I need to do is transfer my Pennsylvania license. So that's what I'm planning to do in the next 2 weeks. I should have my license transferred and I'll be an official California resident. I hadn't transferred my license as yet because, like I said, I was just, the first couple months, it was just hustle. So I just hadn't had the time to be able to do a lot of things because a lot of my nights were spent online looking up apartments, trying to find affordable apartments. Unfortunately, that's the reality out here. Like, there's things in LA that's like super normal that in other cities are not normal when it comes to apartments. Like, I've been online and I've seen people renting living rooms, you guys, for $700 to live in a living room. Like, that's how horrific it is. And the worst thing is, I actually saw a guy, he was asking a question because he's renting a living room for $1,000. Yes, guys, $1,000 to live in someone's living room. I'm like, this boy must have lost his damn mind, but it's normal out here. Like, it's normal to see that. It's normal to see people, like grown people. Like, I'm grown, but grown, when I say grown, I mean like 40-year-olds who are living bunk bed style, dorm style, sharing a room. Each person pays like $500 and then they share a large room or something. So like my room, you see how the size of my room, it's pretty large. It's my couch, my bed, my dresser is up there, but there's a desk in front of it that needs to be moved out the room. So that's why I'm not really gonna show you that side yet. But a room like this, there's people out here who, instead of having a couch here, they'll put another bed and then they'll have a smaller bed over there and they'll be living like dorm style. Like, LA is very different, okay? That's what I'll call it, different. The characters are different. There's a lot of drugged out people out here. It's just very different, but I can say I have thoroughly enjoyed my time here. I feel like I've been learning so much about myself that I'm so thankful for that. Let me tell you about when I got into it in the Uber. So I had to go somewhere and I called an Uber, but it was an Uber pool, and this girl, she was just being real rude in the background because the Uber driver, he had an accent, so it was hard to understand him and what he was saying. So when the Uber pulls up, I get in the car, I'm asking her what the problem is. I don't think she expected that because people tend to like, I want to say, try you when you have a voice like mine. And then you also kind of look like a goody two-shoes. People will try you. So she tried me. And then let me tell you, when Ghetto Yanika came out, Ghetto Yanika was on that ass. And I was about to beat her ass. But she shut up. And then I felt bad because the Uber driver looked scared. So when she got out, I had to apologize to him because I felt so bad. But she was just so rude. She was popping off at the mouth when I wasn't in the car. So when I got in the car, I had to like ask her what the problem is. I had to put her in her place. Like, don't try me. So another thing that happened was with the Uber again. So I had an address I was trying to get to in Inglewood. I was apartment hunting, and the Uber was taking me the opposite way of Inglewood. So it was taking me towards the Watts. And for those who don't know, the Watts is like the hood. It's one of the hoods down here. And so the Uber kept driving me towards the Watts. So I'm asking the Uber driver, where are you going? Where are you going? And he's like, this is where the Uber is taking me. So I look on the Uber app. I'm like, why is it taking me here? And so I realized like the address was the same. It's just that it said Los Angeles instead of Inglewood. So then I ended up having to get out the Uber because he had another passenger to go pick up. It was a Uber pool. And he like left me on the corner in the hood. Like, and let me tell you, the hoods of LA are like worse to me than the hoods in Jamaica, because at least in Jamaica I know my people. Out here I don't know these people, and they be on crack, so they be a bit gone in the head. And so I'm standing there on the corner, all these Latino men, like it was like a Latino area, like they kept like honking at me and stuff. I was just like, what did I do to end up in the hoods of LA, right? So I ended up calling another Uber, and I was able to get out safely. But y'all, be careful with these addresses out here, because it's like the same address in different parts of LA, and the addresses, the two of them were just literally like maybe a 15-minute drive from each other. It was the same exact address. So that's it, you guys. Hit that subscribe button, because I will be making more videos on my moving to Los Angeles experience, as well as I'll be making videos on things like finding a job, finding an apartment, traffic, public transit, more on the homeless problem, the nightlife, anything you want to know about LA. I'll be making videos on those things. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop it in the comments if you have anything in particular that you would like me to touch on, because in these 3 months I've honestly been through, I feel like I've lived here for 3 years at times, because I've just kind of went through a lot, and I couldn't really express everything in the video, because I would be making like a 12-hour video if I sat here and talk about every single thing that went on since I've been here. So I just wanted to hit on the main things. And if you have any questions, just feel free to, post it in the comments. You can also follow me on Instagram at bosslady_876, and feel free to send a DM if you have any questions that you don't want to post in the comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I will be posting videos each and every Sunday. Okay, guys? So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.